You've probably heard that the military can pay for college, but no one actually tells you how to make it work and to what extent. From tuition assistance to GI Bills to scholarships, I've stacked almost every military education program and have not gotten one but two degrees 100% paid for, valued at over $200,000. Today, I'm going to show you how you can have that same experience so that you don't have to go through the trouble of taking out any student loans. I'm Michelle Masha-Batista with Deliberate Military Experience, and let's dive in. If you're anything like me 20 years ago when applying for college, you knew the value of college, but you didn't have any money waiting for you. No one was going to save you. No parents, no nest egg, no college funds, no nothing. And on top of that, there's the stress of knowing that people pay for college, take out the loans, and never use the degrees, and yet are drowning in debt even till today. Well, I knew that was not the life for me, and I suspect that's not something you're looking forward to. But if the military is in your cards, as it was for me, there are so many ways to get college paid for, but you need to be a little strategic about it so that you can reap every benefit. When I first joined the military, I signed up to get the Montgomery GI Bill. Disclaimer, that's not something they offer as of 2026, but just go with me here. So like I said, I signed up for the Montgomery GI Bill, use it later for college. But once I enlisted, I learned about this thing called tuition assistance, or TA. I quickly learned that I could have classes paid for while serving. So as a young private at Aberdeen Proving Ground, I took 1 to 2 night classes per semester, including the summers while I was stationed there. While I was assigned there, I was able to get 28 credits paid for 100%, and that equaled about one full-time student's college worth of credits. So about 28 credits equals about one full year of college. And the value of those 28 credits was about $7,000, and that was all courtesy of tuition assistance. While I was enlisted, I learned about this thing called the Green to Gold program, and that's basically the Army's program that allows enlisted members to apply for an ROTC scholarship. So once I learned about that, loving free money and education, I applied for that program. I got accepted into an ROTC program at the college that I had originally gotten into while in high school. I waited 30 months before I honorably separated from active duty as an enlisted member, and that was really important so that I would get the full benefits of the Montgomery GI Bill, which I had paid into. So after the 30-month mark thereabouts, I separated, I was honorably discharged from active duty as an enlisted member, and then I started college as a sophomore. Because while I was enlisted, I had remember that first year of college completed under the tuition assistance. So I started college as a sophomore, and I had the ROTC scholarship pay for all tuition and fees for the remainder of those 3 years. Now, I went to a college where I was an out-of-state student, so my education was especially expensive, and for those 3 years to get my bachelor's degree was paid for by ROTC at a value of $120,000. You might be thinking, that sounds great, Michelle, but where did you live? What about room and board? Great question, glad you asked. This is where the Montgomery GI Bill did come into play, as well as ROTC stipends. That's a little thing that no one really talks about. You do get a few $100 a month, which definitely helps offset costs. But basically for those 3 years, while I was a full-time student at a 4-year college as an out-of-state student, the Montgomery GI Bill paid me directly. Again, this is not really something that's offered anymore, but at the time they paid me directly the funds that I had earned. So I was able to use that money for a car or groceries or rent, whatever I needed to, as well as the ROTC stipend paid me directly. So for those 3 years while I was a full-time student, I was able to easily pay the $51,000 for my room and board and lived college quite comfortably. I didn't have to get an additional job like many of my peers did, so that was a great benefit. In bonus, since I only went to full-time college for 3 years, but the GI Bill can actually pay for 4 years, I had an extra year's worth of GI Bill that I could save and use for later, which I definitely did. Some years later, I decided to get my master's degree. I knew I had about 1 year's worth of Montgomery GI Bill money left, and I fully expected to pay for the rest of my master's degree out of pocket. Well, to my surprise, I had also earned the post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, if you're just entering the military, this is the primary education benefit they are offering to you now, and it is a wonderful benefit. It has a lot to offer. But at the time, I used the remainder of my Montgomery GI Bill to offset the initial cost of my master's degree, and then I was able to use my post 9/11 GI Bill to pay for the remainder. So with those two powers combined, I was able to earn a $25,000 master's degree paid for exclusively by the military. Additionally, I didn't even use all the extra post 9/11 GI Bill monies that I had earned, so I was able to roll it over to my children. I don't expect to need another degree anytime soon, and the value left over from my post 9/11 GI Bill equals about $67,000 today. I've been able to transfer that to my children, and bonus for them, since they will not be serving while using those monies, they will also qualify for the BAH E5 rate while at college. So that is just an additional benefit that I never use, but they get to use, so good for them and good for me for not having to waste those monies. Before we get into how the military education programs can work for you, let's just do a quick recap on what my military education cost and what program paid for it. The first part of my education was paid for through tuition assistance, and that was valued at $7,000. The second part of my education was my bachelor's degree for the tuition and fees, and that was paid for by an ROTC scholarship, and that was valued at $120,000. Next, my room and board while being a full-time student was covered through the Montgomery GI Bill and an ROTC stipends, and that was valued at $51,000. And then lastly, I got my master's degree paid for through the post 9/11 GI Bill with a little Montgomery GI Bill leftovers, and that was valued at $25,000. Grand total of my education, $203,000 paid for 2 degrees without ever having to apply or stress over a student loan. So what does this mean for you? No matter where you are in your military journey, there are many ways to get college paid for, and why not let someone else pay the bill? Education is something that no one can ever take away once you have it. For active duty enlisted members, do not wait or waste your tuition assistance. As soon as you are able, feel free to go to your education office and figure out what colleges are available nearby or virtually so that you could take advantage of that great benefit. That's just free chicken. Don't let time go by. Get enrolled into any class that will transfer to another college that is accredited. For the officers out there, once you qualify for your post 9/11 GI Bill, you can certainly use it while serving to earn that master's degree, although you can also work toward getting your master's or graduate degrees through most PMEs. So I would highly encourage you to talk to your education office to figure out how to make that happen if you're just looking to get a twofer out of your PME program. For all you National Guard folks out there, or if you're considering National Guard, many states pay for your education as well. You need to do your research to figure out what states pay for what programs. Some states will pay for 1 bachelor's degree, and some states will pay for as much college as you want for their respective state universities. Some states will even pay for you to get your JD or Juris Doctorate to become a lawyer. Some will pay for as many bachelor's degrees as you want. Some have credit limits. Do your research, but just know that many states' National Guard units, Army or Air Force, do pay for at least a bachelor's degree level. So do your research there, and you can stack that on top of other benefits you get from the military. For anyone out there who's considering becoming a doctor or getting a higher level medical degree, like a nurse practitioner level or above or specialty, do look into the Uniformed Services University, USU. If you've never heard of this, It is a gem that you need to look into. USU is basically a military college, a graduate college, and it is $0. So if you're a doctor and you go there, you basically make that promise, like with an ROTC scholarship, that you will serve the military in the respective role in which you are going to college. Some people might see that as a downer, but I mean, how many years does it take a doctor to pay off $100,000, $200,000 in student loans? You get 0 loans when you go to USU to earn your doctorate degree, an MD degree, and then you serve the military for whatever amount of time. But I can guarantee you it is a very reasonable time compared to those who have all those student loan, and it's an exceptional college, and you get to serve some of the best people in the world, other military members and veterans and their families. Now, if you want to go to an elite private school after your time in the military, good news, the post 9/11 GI Bill dovetails beautifully into many private colleges' financial plans through the Yellow Ribbon program. You need to do your research, and basically, quick in a nutshell, the Yellow Ribbon program is part of the post 9/11 GI Bill. Basically, you need to find private colleges that are a part of this program, and actually many are, and it basically gives you a discounted tuition based on your enrollment in the post 9/11 GI Bill so that you can go under more affordable terms. Now, if you're like, I don't need any college whatsoever, I want to get into the trades, I only need a certification or a license, great. Well, you still can use your post 9/11 GI Bill benefits and other cool benefits. Look into that COLL benefits to get those certifications. But before you separate or retire, really do consider passing on those post 9/11 GI Bill benefits to your children, because you need to stay in the service a certain amount of time to ensure those get transferred. Don't waste them. It's free money. If you're not going to use it, let someone else in your family use it. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe, or if you have any other military education questions, feel free to comment. I'll be happy to answer them the best I can. But if you want to dive deeper into more specifics on military education and the awesome benefits the military has to offer, consider looking into the Service Members Playbook, and I'll link it in the description below. Thanks.